Every day, he cuts hundreds of pounds of walnut wood, and every single piece takes careful selection. Still, even then, this craftsman has spent 40 years shaping sound. And today, he faces an almost impossible order. The client has given him only 10 days to deliver. But he knows, even 20 days might not be enough. Still, experience can make the impossible possible. So the craftsman and his team begin another demanding build. Wood is the main material used to make piano hammers. When a player presses a piano key, the hammer strikes the string and creates the sound. That felt-covered piano hammer is one of the most important parts. First, the timber is sliced on a cutting machine. Each board is cut 4 inches wide, just enough for the hammer cores. But the boards are still too thick. So the workers cut them a second time. Then they smooth away the fresh splinters. During this step, hidden cracks can suddenly appear. Even a tiny gap under 1 millimeter means rejection. Only boards that pass every inspection move on to the pressing stage. In the trade, this is called cold press gluing. In simple terms, glue is brushed onto both sides of each board. Then the pieces are stacked together and pressed into place, then into the press, with just steady pressure. The separate boards are pulled together and bonded into one solid block. The result is easy to see. Almost no seam is visible. Next, an electric planer trims both sides to about 2 inches wide, leaving only the center. After more planing and gluing, the inner wooden core of the piano hammer is ready. But here's the point. The hammer does not hit the string with bare wood. Instead, the wooden core is wrapped in high-grade felt. First, the craftsman places the cut wooden cores inside a metal frame. 3 outside screws hold everything firmly in position. As the pressure increases, it spreads evenly across the wooden cores. Now the felt can be cut with a knife. This is one of the details piano makers rarely reveal. Even a small difference in the wool changes the feel and how the final note sounds. Watch closely. When the felt is placed on top, it begins to take the shape of a real hammer. Some wool fibers are fairly straight, like coarse mountain wool. Other fibers are naturally curled, like fine merino wool. During felt production, makers discovered something important. The more curled the wool fibers are, the more elastic it becomes. Hammers made with straighter fibers usually have less spring to give the piano a balanced tone across the whole keyboard. The craftsman must control that fiber ratio carefully. For example, more curled fibers and fewer straight fibers. Then a metal rod is prepared and fitted through the holes. This connects the felt and wood together, making one solid hammer piece. In normal use, it will not come apart. But on the other side, another section still needs separation. Then comes a surprising step. The craftsman drills the lower half, and numbers are written near the small round holes. This may help with assembly, or with accurate tuning later on. Now, the piano body. The first thing most people notice is the exterior. For this part, the right wood has to be chosen. Here they are using American black walnut. In some places, trees like this are protected because they take so long to grow. Only mature trees over 50 years old are suitable for piano work. The piano legs are also made from black walnut. The fit is almost ready. Soon, the front key assembly will be taken apart. Much of the key structure is also made from walnut heartwood. It is removed so the long support blocks can be installed. Each side is measured precisely, so the final height will match. Now, the piano action. This is the fixed wooden structure inside. Once it is set correctly, each key can move and return exactly as it should. To keep every key moving smoothly, this part is essential. One more detail, the green felt you see here is also made from wool. Its fibers are finer than many wool coats and more refined. Next, it is placed into the matching holes. The front goes in first, then the back follows. Otherwise, it will not fit. At the same time, more parts are added to the hammers. Their length is slightly adjusted from the original size. First, the hammer shank is inserted forward. Then the screw is tightened, securing it to the matching component. Each hammer is done this way, and the process takes about 20 minutes. The screw must be tightened firmly here, because it affects the strings later. And inside this narrow space, there are several small parts, rods less than ½ an inch wide. They hang almost directly on metal hooks. So how do they check it? And how do they know the front section will work? That is why inspection is part of their daily routine. Right hand on the tool, left hand on the string. If the sound is not quite right, pre-cut felt pieces are brought back in. Whether the pitch rises or falls depends on their ear. It is worth remembering that with daily playing, whatever the felt thickness, it will slowly wear down. That is one reason piano tuners are still needed. Once the gaps between the keys are almost even, the exterior pieces can be installed. This is the front board players usually see. Each side has a short fixing length, just about 3 centimeters of thread, but the fit is precise and secure. There are also several curved pieces shaped like cloud patterns. They give the plain wood a more finished look. When laid flat, they sit over the left, center, and right footboards, and another panel, also made from American black walnut. Compared with the front, this section installs more easily. So, is it ready to deliver to the client? Strictly speaking, not yet. Because one more important step remains: the final tuning. First, the right hand holds the lever, while the left hand plucks the string. Even the smallest change can affect the tone. Now let us take a closer look. This is the felt hammer, moving forward with each strike against the piano strings. Now, let us hear the sound he has finally tuned.